Alright, we're back. We're looking at some highlights here from set number 3. UE led most of the third set, but NU with a comeback in the latter part of the set. They were able to pull off some good attacks, and on top of that, of course, the errors of UE rather helped NU win the third set. It could have gone anyway. Kaini Pomusena was there with good attacks. Some challenges were encountered by NU when it comes to service reception, and Coach Francis gave a few reminders to Salibad to give more sets from the middle. But it would be interesting to see how they would come back here in the fourth set na hindi naman ganun kadikit and not as not to give everyone a scare tulad nung third set.
Lahat ng set natin so far mahaba at madikit, yung the rallies have been long. And this is our set 3 stat sheet.
Very different. Lady Warriors now leading with 10 attack points compared to only 7 of the Lady Bulldogs. Pero ang lamang ng Lady Bulldogs was that they were much better off when it comes to blocking. 6 block points as compared to only 1 of the Lady Warriors. Pagdating sa unforced errors, boom, you can see that both teams are even with 13. And I think what lacked with the Lady Bulldogs in the third set was nawala sila during the start. It was UE leading all the way. They had quite a few errors, had trouble with offense, which is quite unlikely dahil sinasabi natin nung start. Salibad has all the options in the current lineup that they have.
Correct. Against UP, and in the first set, we saw attacks from Byron, Pablo, Sante. The last 4 or 5 sets to Sante were almost the same. They were too low.
Too low, didn't even clear the net.
Correct.
And she's a tall girl, so she needs, the right height
for her
to get a good contact with the ball.
So we start set number 4.
Lahat ng sets na nilaro nitong dalawang teams na nakaka-nervyos. We've had 2 extended sets.
That's set 1 and set 3.
Oh,
that's
net
violation by Ron. Lady Warriors.
Whole body crossed over already. Talking about Lucelle Byron. So first point will go to the UE Lady Warriors. Boom Gonzalez and Remulla for you for ABS-CBN Sports. We're live on Studio 23. Chance here. Back set. Dizon is denied. Great coverage by Masangkay. Aganon. Salibad has had problems with the quick sets. She cannot seem to get the right timing with her girls right now. All right, let's go to the UE side with Steph C.
Well, Boomenan, the Lady Warriors will make sure to live up to their name by making sure to stay aggressive and to be fast all throughout. That's why Coach Boy wants the girls to always be one step ahead of their opponent by anticipating the Lady Bulldogs. He said, kapag nakakuha sila ng isang point, dapat sasagot tayo at kukuha tayo ng dalawa. Huwag tayong sumabay sa kalaban. With that thought in mind, he further instructed the team to maintain composure because he doesn't want them to lose their focus whenever they're leading. At this point, the Lady Warriors will do their best to grab an early lead and to keep that lead until the end by avoiding complacency. Sabi nga ni Coach Boy, hindi pwedeng sayang na naman, Boomenan.
In volleyball, you have a few chances sometimes. And you gotta make the most of it. And there is only a few inches, as they would say, that would decide winning a set and losing a set sometimes. And that's what happened to UE. They were ahead.
Outside it by Dizon.
All the way, actually all the way. Lost in the end by a few inches, so to speak. National University. Paron is in for UE now.
Grace Masangkay,
First
designated game captain.
Chance for her to play here for this match. Pablo will do the honors from the National U side. 3 serving 2. A wet spot, slick spot here on the court of National University. Adamson and LaSalle still waiting
Number 17,
to complete weekend action for the UAP Season 74 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Coach Boy Talistan. On your screens, taking over from Coach Vanji De Jesus. Back set. That's a touch on the net. Byron guilty of that one.
Interference. Byron. 3-all.
So 3-point given. Jessica Paron. UE High School program.
Still cold off the bench.
Literally and figuratively. Jazz Reyes now, a report from the National U side. Go ahead, Jazz.
Because of the fact that anything can happen, what the Lady Bulldogs need now more than ever is focus, as Coach Francis did see that there were some inconsistencies in their game. Mag-floor defense tayo, naka-relax lang tayo, pantapos ng service, binibitawan ninyo ang sigla. Coach Francis also reminded the girls about their timing, that even a second before hitting that ball can change the game. As Nepomuceno says, that as she told her teammates na, last na to guys, last na. Boom and Ann.
Well, that's what Coach Francis wants. He doesn't want a set number 5. They're getting ahead here. It's been a while since they enjoyed a 3-point lead. Last time was at the first set pa.
Byron.
6 serving 3. A little separation here. That's a good serve. Byron with the dig.
To Kai, but the set is short.
Too low. 4-6.
Look at this, short. The set was short kasi ang layo ni Salibad.
The set Dawis. Serving for the Lady Warriors.
And it is Lisette Dawis now, the returning UE player. 4 serving 6. Not perfect, but it worked.
Probably one of the better sets that Sante has gotten in this game. Ganun pa rin eh. She was getting the ball from underneath.
Correct. Ayun, they're looking at Coach Francis.
Gusto ni Coach Francis ng isang magandang execution ng play.
Ako gusto ko kabitan siya ng mic eh.
To hear what he's saying.
Hindi, naririnig ko eh. Hindi naririnig ng tao eh.
No entry.
A block there gives them a technical timeout lead. 8-4. And you ahead. Back in a moment. Here's that last block. And that was it Nepomuceno responsible for that one?
Yes.
Nepomuceno. To give them the 8-4 lead, their biggest lead. Very long time. Won the first set, dropped the second set, then came from behind by as much as 6 points to extend that third set and win it. And now they're ahead.
At the service zone for the Lady Bulldogs.
Francis.
Number 7, Ria
Vicente of National U hoping that this will be the last one. Rialen Sante with a good serve. Second touch by UE. They go back to Kai.
Outside shot by
The proper approach there for Kai. And we can see Coach Francis here demonstrating how it should be done.
To serve.
Pag ganun ang distansyaan, dapat, ano ba, para sa mga nanonood sa atin?
In that case, dapat you control the ball. A top spin is very important because you have to ensure that the ball will go down.
Para may laglag. O yung tinatawag nilang laglag. Miscommunication by Salibad and Aganon. So this lead is down to 2.
8.
That
Service. Ebrida.
isip.
Ang daming, there are a lot of times when you see that in NU, ano, yung nagkakaagawan ng bola.
That's a perfect one for Aganon.
Agano.
First time in a long time.
First time also that after executing a play, we don't hear anything from Coach Francis. So I think that's a sign that that's exactly how he wants the play to go.
Perfect set, perfect height.
Kai,
And a different one for Aganon.
But I guess yung challenge din dyan is when Sante goes in front,
back.
they have to be able to, still execute
Bulan off the block.
the same perfection when it comes to the set.
But UE hanging around here. 7, serving 9.
For UE.
Mary Grace Masangkay with a good serve.
Great serve.
She scores on it.
Floater just dropped.
Isa na lang.
On TV, that might look like it's an easy thing to do. Pero pag nandyan ka sa loob ng court and you go against a floater, it's very difficult.
And there are certain serves as
Bulan
Bulan
at the net.
gets this
They're
point
tied
and
at 9.
ties this at 9. From the perspective of the receiver, and nakikita mo
Gumagalaw.
left, right yung bola, may mga gumagalaw pa. Correct.
And all of a sudden, it drops. You think that it's still going to sail high, but
In
then all of
front
a
of you.
sudden, it drops.
Yes. Yung mga minsan di natin nakikita sa TV. But if you've played the game, I'm sure you've experienced that. Another one. And that's off the blocker. Check ball. Yep.
They will be needing more plays from the middle at that triple block attempt on UE.
Off the fingertips of Quintero Sale. So Salibad now. Her turn to serve. They open up. From the back line, Nepomuceno. Yun yung may konting top spin, huh?
Top spin, so the ball will go down.
And for those, again, who don't know, just launching your approach from the back line and timing that's already a skill in itself. That's not an easy thing to develop.
And you have to be wary, of course, may attack line dyan, and you cannot go beyond that or step on it.
Rosales from the right. 10.
Galang
Serving
could
11.
not contain the Quintero Sale attack, which has been few and far in between for UE. 10 serving 11. Byron this time. That drops, but it drops outside the line.
Outside shot by Byron.
Nepomuceno starting to celebrate
tied at
already, but
11.
it was premature. Let's look at that again.
More quicker snap of the wrist to get the ball inside.
So now we're tied at 11 again. Here we go with these two teams again. The biggest lead for NU in this set was 8-4. Cross court. Masangkay takes it. Underhand set. Chance for NU. They go up to Pablo. Pablo mistiming it. Just doesn't put enough into that. Saved by Galang. Oh, and that's an automatic point for UE.
12.
If she was positioned in the right area, she would have gotten that ball perfectly.
Now, down 4, UE has taken the lead.